Hello viewers and welcome back to the Elite Karting Series here at Daytona Sandown Park. We've got just 2 races left to go this evening and we're going to start with Split 2 Race 3. Dan Shaw is on pole position with Adam Barras alongside him on the front row of the grid. Samuel Bennett and Ross Sandwell on row 2. Ross will be hoping that he can get a victory here after it was snatched away from him in that previous race. Charlie Jackson and Adam Thompson are the rest of row 3, with Archie Prattley and Raj Kular on row 4. Barney Williams starts in 9th position with Ethan Vincent-Dotzi in 10th, just 1.3 seconds all the way back into this 10th position. Yachi Lowe and Miles Harding will be hoping to climb into the top 10 on row 6. Chrissy Harding is in 13th position with Andy Leister joining her on row 7. Chris O'Connell and Hugh Morriton are row 8. Finally, at the back of the grid, we've got Henry Walter and Troy Fraser McGonigal, 2 drivers with plenty of work to do in this race.
So then, it's Dan Shaw and Adam Barras on the front row, getting ready for the final Split 2 race of the day, and that front row is rocketing away from the rest of the field, and then suddenly having to slow down right at the end, so it looks like the start has been aborted, and everyone just reacting in time then, without crashing into each other, so the field will go around for another lap. Dan Shaw and Adam Barras will have another go then with Samuel Bennett and Ross Sandwell, hoping to be a little bit closer on the second attempt. So the field coming through the final couple of corners for their second attempt at starting race 3 in Split 2 here. Adam Barras and Dan Shaw alongside, but it's Dan Shaw, of course, will start from the inside. We expect the green flag to be shown any minute now, and there it is. The race gets underway then. And immediately Archie Prattley sees Raj Kular cut across the front of him, and side by side between Ross Sandwell and Charlie Jackson. Jackson goes around the outside at turn 2, and is this going to allow Adam Thompson in 5th to take advantage as well? There we go. Sandwell hits the inside actually of Charlie Jackson, and that allows Adam Thompson to slide his way up the inside, and now Raj Kular is even having a go at Ross Sandwell. Sandwell puts his hand up. He realizes he's being absolutely swamped on this first lap, so after losing the win in controversial circumstances in race 2 and Split 2, he's now lost a load of places at the start here.
Yeah, so Ross, as you say, he was in line for promotion to Split 1, should really be in Split 1 for this race, but that overtaking under yellows in the previous race is what has meant he's back down in Split 2. He's now under pressure from Raj Kular. She's had a great start here. She's up in 7th place, had a good race, to be honest, in the previous one as well, so she's doing well now, putting pressure on the back of him as they head through turn number 2. But it's Dan Shaw who leads the way, and he's actually pulled out a bit of a gap. You can see now from the drone shot, he's pulled out a gap on Adam Barras, who's having a good recovery drive after his spin in race 1 today. And then we've got Samuel Bennett doing a fantastic job running up a P3 ahead of Charlie Jackson, who's both of them are making their series debut here today. So Samuel running up in P3 ahead of Charlie Jackson up in 4th, with Adam Thompson in 5th, and Ross Sandwell currently fighting against Raj Kular in P6.
Yeah, what a story it would be if Samuel Bennett can hold on to that podium in the final race of the day as the pack comes through to start another lap. Dan Shaw really starting to pull a gap over Adam Barras, who of course crashed out earlier in the day in the first race of the day. He's now ending on a much more positive note, as look just behind Archie Prattley, it's Ethan Vincent-Dotzi and I think Barney Williams that have just been squabbling away with each other, and I think even Vincent-Dotzi is trying to line up Barney Williams, but he's already made it past Miles Harding, who is now starting to be caught by his partner Chrissy, who is continuing to put pressure on him as well. So that battle could get very, very interesting indeed. But look at this. Is that even Vincent-Dotzi actually ducking his head down and going up the inside of Archie Prattley into turn 6 there? Fantastic move. Really had to get late on the brakes for that one, and now he can even get involved in this Raj Kular-Ross Sandwell fight.
Yeah, that was brilliant from Ethan Vincent-Dotzi. He proved that human DRS does work after all. Just tucked his head down and whoosh, off he went past Archie Prattley.
Low rend resistance.
Yeah. Those two, both junior drivers racing against each other in the junior class today. Yeah, that's a great move by Ethan Vincent-Dotzi. He's definitely his best drive so far today. He's had some struggles in the first 2 races, but yeah, he's doing well here. I say that, he goes wide there, coming out of turn number 3. Meanwhile, I just saw down the bottom of the shot Yachi Lowe, he's right behind Chrissy Harding. Chrissy Harding, meanwhile, behind her husband, Miles Harding, like you say earlier. So those two then are battling out for 11th position as they go down the alternate back straight. I think Ethan Vincent-Dotzi now has pulled a bit of a gap now on Archie Prattley.
And Vincent-Dotzi wide into turn 6. He braked that little bit too late, and Archie Prattley immediately slots himself back through there. So patience from Prattley paying off, and Vincedozzi thought he could break later than late, and unfortunately either you ran out of talent or you ran out of grip, and I think in this case it was the latter.
Yeah, you just scared the life from me there, Ed. As that's Andy Laister now who's managed to get past Yachilo. Yeah, that caught me by surprise there, that Ethan Vincedozzi then going in deep. That has, like you say, allowed Archie Prattley back through. As Yachilo's trying to get the cut back now, and Andy Laister trying to get that position straight back as they head down now into turn number 4. Looks like Andy Laister has managed to hold on, as I think Yachilo's camera's actually just died. It's quite frustrating. And you can see him now from Chris O'Connor's on board. He can see Yachilo right in front of him, and Andy Laister. I also just saw from Miles Harding's on board. I just saw a quick glimpse, I think, of his wife, Chrissy Harding, as I could just see from Archie Prattley's on board. I can see Ethan Vincedozzi just went in deep once more, so he's struggling, I think, with the brakes going into turn number 6. 2 laps of the road, he's gone in deep, and he's now under pressure from Barney Williams. This 360 camera on top of Archie Prattley taking an absolutely fantastic view of the race. You've got to see absolutely everything from it as Ethan Vincedozzi goes wide again. He's now got Barney Williams still on his back bumper as they head down to the 3rd corner on the circuit, but Ethan's managed to stay ahead. Now looking at Chris O'Connor's on board, you can still see this train of karts in front, which has really formed. As it actually, Chrissy Harding has got through, so I didn't need to see that. We can just see that now. Chrissy Harding overtaking her husband, Miles Harding. She's now up into her 11th position. She's ahead of Miles, and then you've got this whole train of karts behind, as you can see from Chris O'Connor's on board.
Yeah, Miles held on for a while, but once Chrissy got the inside into turn 3, there wasn't a whole lot he could do there. Now he's just trying to tuck in behind his partner and follow her, look for any little gap to take advantage of. Meanwhile, we still got our big battle between Adam Thompson, Charlie Jackson and Samuel Bennett for that final spot on the podium, and also Archie Prattley, Raj Gula and Ross Sandwell behind them in the fight for 6th position, with Raj Gula having a very, very strong final outing of the day, and Archie Prattley having survived the attack from Ethan Vincedozzi. Now Barney Williams has got past Ethan Vincedozzi as well, so Kula and Prattley have got Sandwell all to themselves then, and Ross has just got to make sure he doesn't leave any gap for them to take advantage. And we got just under 5 minutes left to go, and the pressure is very much on in these top battles.
Yeah, I just saw as well from Archie Prattley's on board looking backwards, Ethan Vincedozzi has been overtaken now by Barney Williams. Barney, a heavyweight driver, got overtaken, but now as we cut back to the live shots, you can see Ethan Vincedozzi's got straight back past. So just as I say, that Ethan Vincedozzi gets back up into 9th position. He's now back ahead of Barney Williams. Like you say, Raj Kula doing a fantastic drive in this race, sticking to the back of the previous race winner, Ross Sandwell. Raj is also in a relationship with another driver on this grid, that is Henry Walter. Is her boyfriend. So there's 2 couples out here today. It's not a prerequisite if you're racing the EKS that you have to be in a couple, but 4 of the people in this race are in one. But yeah, now as we can see, Adam Thompson still right behind Charlie Jackson. Charlie Jackson doing a fantastic drive in this race. Running in P4. I don't believe he's really done much outdoor karting at all, especially not 2-stroke karting. So he's done a really, really good job here, running up in P4 behind Samuel Bennett. He's also a slightly heavier driver as well, coming at over 90 kilos. So yeah, Charlie Jackson doing a great job here, as we can see again from Archie Prattley's on board. Raj Kula still looking up the inside of Ross Sandwell, but she hasn't managed to get through yet as they stay in 6th, 7th and 8th position.
Yeah, bit of a stalemate at the present moment. And oh, look at this, and Miles Harding is just trying to make a move as well up the inside, I think, of Andy Laister, who started to attack him now, and he is able actually just to get through before Vale, as we see on the drone cam. I think Ethan Vincedozzi and Barney Williams still dueling away over 9th place, and Chrissy Harding starting to catch both of them as well, so that's getting very, very tense indeed. As Chris O'Connell just avoids a big off in front of him. Was that wasn't Yachilo in trouble, was it, Luke?
It was Miles Harding, yeah, Miles Harding. He just looped it then going into turn number 6, and round he went. As you say, Chris O'Connell had to take avoiding action then to avoid him. And Miles Harding, he was overtaken this time last lap by Andy Laister. A bit of a rough move though from Andy, and he did wave Miles back through. So that's what we just cut to the shot of as they came out of turn 3 on the previous lap. But yeah, lucky there for Miles Harding, just locked up in that big heavy braking zone. Going into turn 3, round he went.
Indeed. So 2.5 minutes left then of this race, and Adam Thompson closes on the back of Charlie Jackson, but again Jackson, Bennett all just in a stalemate, not creating any opportunities here, as we look also at Chris O'Connell fighting way with Yachilo and Andy Laister in front of him into turn 6 and just bumping the back of the 148 car in front of him. Then darkness starting to fall over Daytona Sandown Park then, and time is really starting to run out. Archie Prattley is starting to lose a bit of touch with the Kular-Sandwell battle here.
Yeah, he is indeed. Like you say, Raj just managed to pull away a little bit here as Chris O'Connor's got that great view of the Andy Laister and Yachi Low battle. All these guys, well, especially in the case of Chris and Andy, are not at all familiar with this track. These two both live up north, the teammates for Oscod Racing, both live up Newcastle way. So yeah, first time or second time in their cases at this track. But now, as we're coming into what I believe is the penultimate lap of this race, the next lap will be the last lap, I believe. It is Dan Shaw, as we can see from the drone shot, who has just checked out into the distance. He's left Adam Barras behind, now pulled a 3.5 second gap over Adam. Dan's only been here once before, came here earlier this week, so he's not got much experience at all of this track. Usually you'll find him racing over in Club 100 in their junior championships, and he's put his experience from Club 100 to good use in these DMX carts, which are identical to Club 100 carts. He's put to good use.
Oh, and Kular up the inside of Sandwell into turn 4 there. Fantastic move, brilliant opportunism from Raj Kular, and SIG position after a lot of battling is finally hers. Sandwell left the tiniest gap, and Raj Kular didn't even need to think twice about going for that one.
Yeah, good swap that was. Yeah, it was a good move there by Raj, but you just saw from Archie's onboard. So yeah, up she goes. She's now running up in 6th position. I think this is going to be a best ever result for her in the EKS. She raced in split 3 at Buckmore round 3, now up in split 2 for this one, and she's right up towards the sharp end, like you say. So good race by them all. Adam Thompson, meanwhile, he's still on the back bumper of Charlie Jackson, but he can't get through. This is so reminiscent of our last time in DMX karts at round 4 at Milton Keynes. We had exactly the same situation. Adam Thompson running in around about 5th position, just could not get past Brad Whitehouse in that situation in front of him. He also had George Braun stuck in front of him. Again, Brad couldn't get past him there, and this is a mirror image in this race too. So this is quite remarkable, this race.
Yeah, time running out then as Dan Shaw comes towards the line to finish the race in 1st position then, ahead of Adam Barras, who's been a little bit under the weather today but ends in 2nd place on the podium. Samuel Bennett gets a fantastic podium for him, but look behind, it's Sandwell who's made another mistake, and Prattley has gotten through at the final corner of the race. I think Ross just went a little bit wide, Luke.
Yeah, he did indeed. That's really unlucky for Ross, but yeah, he's now dropped down to P8, so good move that was by Archie Prattley at the end then, and he's now inheriting P7 off of Ross.
At the end of Split 2 Race 3, it's a fantastic victory for Dan Shaw, who wins by 3.3 seconds in the junior class. Adam Barras topping your senior standings in 2nd position, with Samuel Bennett, Charlie Jackson and Adam Thompson the rest of the top 5. Raj Kular finishes in 6th position, just 9 seconds off of the lead in the end, with Archie Prattley in 7th. Crawley Seekers Ross Sandwell is in 8th position, with Ethan Vince Dotsey and Barney Williams for Verted Che Racing the rest of the top 10. Yachi Low is in 11th, with an odd squad 12-13 for Andy Laister and Chris O'Connell. Chrissy Harding finishes in 14th. Miles Harding is in 15th position, with Apex Predators Henry Walter in 16th. Hugh Morriton and Troy Fraser McGonigal make up the rest of the grid. Just the one penalty in that race. Chrissy Harding received a 5-second penalty for a bump and a pass.
Right, so we're here with 4 of the top 5 finishers. What's your name, sir?
Adam Thompson.
Adam Thompson. So it was a great battle. You were right at the back of that fight, weren't you, for 3rd position? So talk us through it.
Well, I came 5th in the end of the battle here, and we just had a really good crack. That's all good. Yeah, we had a really good battle, nose to tail the whole way through. It was just excellent, really. So just tried to
Thanks for putting on a great show here at Sandown, then.
Yeah,
if you could pass the mic along to your right. What's your name?
Charlie Jackson.
Charlie Jackson. So you were also in that fight.
Yes.
So what's your take on it?
It was a really good battle. For the first half, I sort of didn't know he was there behind me. I was trying to chase the front, but in the end, it just had to be a bit defensive to hold him off.
Oh, well, it was, you put on a great show. Congrats
Cheers.
on finishing on that podium. And who's next then?
I'm Samuel Bennett.
Samuel Bennett, of course. So, no, you were the one. You just had that podium taken away from you right at the end.
No, I got podium.
No, you did. Third, sorry, I'm getting really mixed up here because I had to leave before the end. So, talk us through your race because you saw more of it than I did.
So I started off pretty strong. Went through turn 1 safely. Just started to pull a gap, and then they started closing in on me. So. Just finished off in 3rd.
Great job to hold them off, and thanks for putting on a great show today.
Thank you very much.
All right, and now, as I just move out of the way, this is it Second place, Adam Barras.
Yes, correct.
Adam, I know you're a bit under the weather going in today, but you come away
Yeah.
at the end of the day with a second position. You must be happy with that.
Yeah, very happy. Big turnaround from race 1. I managed to get a good start. I just couldn't quite keep up with Dan, so it was close, but yeah, I just couldn't quite keep up with him. So
Well, unlucky not to get the top spot, but that's still a great result nonetheless. And finally, last but not least, the winner, Mr. Dan Shaw. It was a bit of a dream, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a great race. First time at this track, I think a few of us for the first time. But I managed to get a good fast lap in the second race, which meant I got pole for this race and just sort of stayed there really. Did what I could. I found that the grip levels as the track got a bit cooler increased a lot, so I was able to push the cart a bit more and get in a nice spot.
Yeah, congratulations. Are you looking forward to coming back soon?
Yes, hopefully. Thank you.
That's great to hear. Thanks for talking to us, Dan.
Cheers.
And thanks to the rest of you as well. Right, we did it. 5 in 1.